along this circular path of radius r. So here we are going to find what is the average velocity, what is the instantaneous velocity, and after that we will find what is the radial acceleration or centripetal acceleration, and then centripetal force. So this derivation is asked in exam, sometime 5 marks question, like this it is asked. Okay. So suppose this particle is at A, when we start observing, the position of particle is at A. After time delta t, the particle has reached to point B, and this radius vector makes an angle delta theta, like yesterday, before yesterday we had done. So we'll start from like that. Let us consider a particle of mass m moving with uniform speed. This is for uniform circular motion only. Moving with uniform speed in a circular path of radius r. At t equal to 0, let the particle's position be at point A, and after time delta t, particle reaches to point B, and the radius vector makes an angle of delta theta at the center of the circular path. So what is the average angular velocity? Sorry. So this is delta theta over delta t. Average angular velocity during this interval will be delta omega over delta t. Whereas instantaneous d theta by dt, that we have done yesterday, day before yesterday. Instantaneous angular velocity, this omega is d theta by dt. Angular velocity is a vector quantity. We have discussed already day before yesterday. It is, when we consider a small angle, then we take it as vector quantity, and the direction will be, as it is moving in anti-clockwise direction, so it will be what? If we say this is angular velocity vector quantity, then we have to give the direction. So it is outward. Anti-clockwise, that is, in this direction it is rotating. So this is the direction of vector. Axial vector we say. It is along the axis of rotation, and axis of rotation is here outward. If particle is moving in clockwise direction, then direction of angular velocity will be, or angular displacement also, for a small angle of displacement, that will be inward. Okay, so now we are interested in linear one. Linear velocity means linear velocity we are interested. So if you find average linear velocity, this v bar will be how much? Displacement, that is vector AB. Initial position is A, final position is B. Not this arc AB. If you are asked linear speed, then we will consider arc AB. As we are interested to find velocity. Velocity means the rate of change of displacement. And displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position. So this one will be vector AB over delta t. Now this vector AB, if this delta t is small, not tending to 0, small, maybe 1 millisecond or 0.1 millisecond. If we are taking that much distance, that much duration, then what will be? B will be closer to A. In that case, this chord and this arc will be almost same. Suppose this is, we are considering this is a circular path, and here is the point A and here is point B. So this arc and this chord will be almost same. Point A is here and point B is here. So this circular part or the linear part will be almost same. So delta T small means delta theta is small. So if delta theta is small, this AB will be approximately equal to RAB. Symbolically we write this is AB, this is AB, we are giving this type of symbol, that is arc AB. We are making arc over AB, that is the circular part. AB is the linear one, that is chord, and this arc will be same if theta is small. Now, in trigonometry, you might have done this delta theta or theta equal to L by R. You might have learned in trigonometry. Angle subtended by radius vector at the center will be length of arc by radius.
Yes, sir.
We are taking considered total one. What is that? Length of arc is how much? 2 pi r by r. So it is 2 pi. So general formula we learned like that. Theta is L by r, where L is what? Length of arc and r is the radius. For total, L is 2 pi r by r. So total angle will be 2 pi radian. So this theta will be in radian. This is the relation. Okay. Now what will be? Sorry. This average V we can write arc AB over delta T, and the direction will be along AB vector. Direction will be along AB only. Velocity is a vector quantity. So we have to find magnitude as well as direction both. So magnitude is given by this much. Now this arc AB, what can we write? According to this relation, delta theta is arc AB over R. No, delta theta is arc AB over R. So in place of arc AB, we can write delta theta. So this is R delta theta over delta T and along AB. This is our average velocity. So average velocity will be along AB. Now we are interested to find instantaneous velocity. That is what is velocity at point A. Then how will you find? Yes? How to find? If average velocity we are knowing, this is average velocity, V bar also you have to give, then arrow mark. Here it was, bar was given or not given. If not given, then write like this, V bar average. So this will give the magnitude of average velocity and direction is like this. Now we are interested to find instantaneous. So what to do? Anyone? If average is known, how to find instantaneous? Yes. Yesterday we did.
d theta by
Today no
dt.
one. Yes.
d theta by dt.
Yes. D theta means limit we will take. So when we are average, we are knowing, and we are interested to find instantaneous, we will find average for a small interval of time. So instantaneous velocity will be this V will be limit delta t tending to 0 of what? V average. That is when the point B is very close to A, then only delta t tending to 0. Then what will be this? So R is constant. So R limit delta t tending to 0 of delta theta by delta t, and limit delta t tending to 0 of vector AB, or unit vector along AB, you can say. Or simply you write here U like this, where U is unit vector along AB, because we are interested to find magnitude and direction. So we will take the limit of this unit vector also to find the direction. Now this one is d theta by dt. So it is R d theta by dt. Now when B is very close to A, what is the direction of AB? See, when B is coming here, AB is in this direction. When B has come to this place, AB is in this direction. When B has come to this place, this is the direction of AB. What we call this direction?
Tangent.
Tangent at point A. So this one will be UT, suppose, where UT is unit vector along the tangent. Now this d theta by dt is omega. So V is r omega or omega r, and the direction is along the tangent at that particular point. So we got this V is r omega, that is omega r, and the direction is along the tangent. So magnitude is omega r and direction is along tangent. So here tangent is like this. When particle reaches to this point B, the tangent is like this. So this is the velocity. When particle is reaching at this point, velocity will be coming this direction. If angular speed is constant, omega is same, the magnitude of velocity is same. Everywhere velocity will be linear, velocity will be same, but the direction will keep on changing. So in uniform circular motion, magnitude of velocity that is speed. Linear speed and angular speed both are same. Here simply speed means linear speed. In case of angular speed, especially it will be mentioned, angular speed. Remain same, but its direction keep on changing. Now, as we know, the velocity is a vector quantity. So, if only magnitude is constant and direction is changing, then what we'll say? Velocity is, vector is constant or variable?
Variable.
Variable. Two vectors are said to be same when magnitude and direction both are same. So, if there is change in direction, velocity is changed, different. So, in uniform circular motion, speed is constant, but velocity is variable, or velocity is non-uniform. So, particle is moving with uniform angular and linear speed. But velocity is not uniform. So, if velocity is non-uniform, that means it will have acceleration, because acceleration is what? Rate of change of velocity. So, if velocity is non-uniform, that means particle is having acceleration. And we will derive the expression for acceleration now. So, till this part was for velocity. Now, for acceleration. So, derivation of acceleration, expression for acceleration. There are two ways by which we can find. One will be either by applying law of parallelogram or law of triangle. Another is by finding component, because change in velocity we can find by two ways. As there are only two, initial velocity, final velocity, you are free, you can apply law of triangle, you can apply law of parallelogram, or we can apply the component one. So first we will see by using component method. That is easier one. So we'll do that one first. So these are the two axes which we are considering. X-axis and y-axis, because we are interested to find component. Now we are saying the particle has started from this point A and it has reached to point B. The angle which is delta theta, we are dividing into two parts. Delta theta by 2 this side and delta theta by 2 this side. That is axis we are considering, which is bisecting the angle delta theta. Previous figure also you can draw, but axis will be little inclined and you may be confused. So we have changed. Position of A is here, B is here, like this. Axis we have taken X and Y axis, horizontal and vertical. You are free, you can consider any axis. Only the condition is the two should be perpendicular to each other. Okay. Now at this place, velocity is in this direction. This is the direction of velocity. And here is the direction of velocity along the tangent. So this is our initial velocity. Magnitude is same. Direction is opposite. Okay, suppose we are taking this is u. And this is our v. Initial velocity and final velocity. Magnitude is same. Magnitude of this u and magnitude of this v is same. And this is how much? Omega r. Direction is only different. Now, if we want to use the component method, then what will be this change in velocity? During time delta t. This we are saying this is delta v. This will be v minus u. Now we break it into component. What will be? So this component, this one like this. So if this is making an angle, this is your tangent, sorry, radius here, this is tangent. This is making an angle of delta theta by 2. So this angle will be delta theta over 2. So one component will be u cos delta theta by 2. And this component is u sin delta theta over 2. Similarly here, one axis this one and other axis this one. So this component is v cos delta theta over 2. And this component is v sin delta theta over 2. But this angle will be delta theta by 2. Angle between radius and tangent is always 90 degrees. So angle between tangent at this place, so like this, and tangent at this place, same angle delta theta by 2. So the v we can write what? What we will write in v? So it will become v sin delta theta by 2 minus g. You are free, you can take cos 90 minus delta theta by. Cos 90 minus delta theta by 2 means sin delta theta by 2. So this is along minus I. If you had taken this one as positive x and this one as positive y, plus v cos delta theta by 2 g. This is v minus u, and u component is how much? U sin delta theta by 2 I plus u cos delta theta by 2 g. Yes, is it clear? So this delta V will be, this is same. Oh, V and U both all are same. Omega R only. So it is omega R, we can take common, minus sin delta theta by 2 This will be cancelled. So it will simply twice. Okay. That is delta V in this direction. It is towards the center along the radius. If point A is very close to B, that is both are coming at this point only, that is delta theta is tending to 0. So naturally point A and B are here very close. In that case, when we will take the limit, the direction will come along radius. Now we have seen this sine theta is equal to theta or 10 to theta when theta is approximately 0 or theta tending to 0. Or you might have learned limit delta theta tending to 0, sine delta theta or sine theta, whatever you have learned. Sine delta theta is approximately delta theta. This we have seen by placing the value also. We have taken sine 4 degree, whatever it was in radian. Exactly when you convert 4 degree in radian, it is coming same. This we have already seen when we have discussed the vector. Okay, time up only. Okay, so this is delta V. So this is approximately how much? Minus omega r delta theta, because this sine delta theta by 2 is almost delta theta by 2. So twice, and this is delta theta by 2, 2 to cancel. So what will be average acceleration? So average acceleration, this a bar, will be delta v by delta t. So it is minus omega r delta theta by delta t unit vector along I. So if we take instantaneous, is a, which is limit delta t tending to 0 of the same. So when we take the limit, this one will become omega r d theta by dt, and the direction is minus I, means this one. So we say it is ur. Okay, we leave up to here only. So this is a is omega into omega square r ur, where ur is unit vector along radius towards the center of circular path. That's why the name is radial acceleration. As it is along radius, so radial acceleration. As it is towards the center, so centripetal acceleration. So name is centripetal acceleration or radial acceleration. So this A simply we sometimes we write AR, because when we discuss non-uniform, both will come. Radial will also come and tangential will also come. So from the very beginning only we will give the symbol AR. So this AR is known as radial or centripetal acceleration. Now, as we know, force is mass into acceleration. So, what will be the force? Mass into this acceleration. And this force we call centripetal force. So, this centripetal force will be mass into radial acceleration. M omega square R UR, or it may be mv square over R direction. Okay, since this v is omega R. The instantaneous velocity is given by the product of angular speed and radius that we have already seen. So in place of omega, we can write v square over R. Omega square means v square over R square. 1 R will be cancelled. So it can be like this. So this is our centripetal acceleration, and this is centripetal force. We will leave up to here today, okay? Yes, anyone having any doubt, anything to ask?